Sex, porn, love addiction is all about self-soothing to manage your emotions. It got set up back in the childhood development years. It's just not about sex, it's not about porn. It's all about the repeated use has set up the physiology to crave those dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, self-manufactured drugs in the body. It's impacting women, men, children aged 10 to 75 across all the age ranges, the sexes, the cultures, the professions. It increased exponentially during COVID lockdown and impacting so many lives. The Kairos Centre has created the first online comprehensive sex, porn, love addiction. It's a video on demand recovery program which you can access from anywhere in the world and begin to see identifiable changes just within 6 weeks of beginning this weekly program. Kairos means your appointed time. Isn't it your time to reclaim your life? Bring colour back to life without shame. Click the link below and begin your journey. You owe it to yourself and to others. So we're continuing with our conversation about attachment styles, and attachment styles really very important because of what gets set up in childhood. So remember, we have looked at secure attachment. Let me again remind you, secure attachment, on this hand, the ideal scenario, the ideal outcome for all of us, that the childhood development, upbringing, bonding with the main caregiver was good enough, not perfection, but good enough in terms of helping us, the children, negotiate life at an early enough stage so that confidence, guidance, instructions, being there was good enough. So that is secure attachment. Ideally, from the time the infant is 6 months to 2 years of age, they form an emotional attachment to an adult who is attuned to them, that is, who is sensitive and responsive to their needs and their interaction with them. It's vital that this attachment figure remain a constant caregiver throughout this period of a child's life. And it's during the second year that the children begin to use the adult as a secure base from which to explore their world and become more independent. And a child in this type of relationship is said to be securely attached. What we moved on to was then the insecure attachment, on this hand, representing 3 types of insecure attachments. And I'm going to give you the words, the names of those 3 types of insecure attachments. Unfortunately, there are various articles, and those various articles, the individuals have given them slightly different names. And so it's important that I just tell you about the different names that come out of each of those articles. So the secure attachment we've done. The first of those, insecure attachment, avoidant attachment is what it's called in one article. But in another article, it's actually called dismissive avoidant attachment. The second one, ambivalent anxious attachment. And in this other article, which I'm going to send to you, it's called anxious preoccupied attachment. And the third one, disorganized attachment. In the other article, it's given this name, fearful avoidant. So let's go back to the first one. The very first one, avoidant attachment. Here is a description of what that looks like in the application of somebody with avoidant attachment behaviors. They are adults who are emotionally unavailable, and as a result, they are insensitive to and unaware of the needs of their children. Remember, you're viewing this through the lens of you being the child. Don't view this through the lens of you being the adult, perhaps nurturing your children. You're viewing this as what might have happened, not gone well in my developmental years. So you're viewing it through the lens of you, the child. So let me just read that again. There are adults who are emotionally unavailable, so the main caregivers in your life. And as a result, they are insensitive to and unaware of the needs of their children. They have little or no response when a child is hurting or distressed. These parents discourage crying and encourage independence. Often, their children quickly develop into being little adults who take care of themselves, who learn to take care of themselves, who perhaps grow up too fast and become independent too fast. And these children pull away from needing anything from anyone else and become self-contained. They have formed what is described as an avoidant attachment with a misattuned adult. So let me give you that. It's the same avoidant attachment, but it's got this other description, title, in the article, second article that I'm going to give to you. And it's called dismissive avoidant. Remember, it's the same one. So people with a dismissive style of avoidant attachment tend to agree with these statements. I am comfortable without close emotional relationships. It is very important to me to feel independent and self-sufficient. And I prefer not to depend on others or to have others depend on me. People with this attachment style desire a high level of independence. The desire for independence often appears as an attempt to avoid attachment altogether. They view themselves as self-sufficient and invulnerable to feelings associated with being closely attached to others. They often deny needing close relationships. Some may even view close relationships as relatively unimportant. Not surprisingly, they seek less intimacy with relationship partners, whom they often view less positively than they view themselves. Investigators commonly note the defensive character of this attachment style. And people with this dismissive avoidant attachment style tend to suppress and hide their feelings, and they tend to deal with rejection by distancing themselves from the source of rejection, i.e., and so often, the relationship partner.